Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are and when you're watching me. I'm Adam, welcome back to my channel. Here's video number 2. For those of you who know me, know I cannot keep a parcel wrapped, but I have managed it for you guys. As you can see, it is still sealed. We're going to be opening this in a minute. We're going to be doing an unboxing video, and then I'm actually going to get to use this, and I cannot wait to get started on it. If you've enjoyed my first video, apologies. It wasn't the best, but hopefully you're sticking with me. Please do subscribe and do like the video. It makes a big difference to me and it makes me feel loved, so I love it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to the unboxing. We're going to go down below. So it's time to finally get this unboxed. Been really looking forward to this. Let's get the scissors out. Tried opening it with my fingers and it was really difficult. So here we go. There we have it. Throw all the rubbish on the floor. My minted 3D printing pen. Very excited to get this open and actually see what's inside. So in the box, trying to do this backwards so that you can see, we have some ABS filaments. They've given us 3 colours. I'm not planning on using ABS, I am planning on using PLA. We get quite a thick user manual actually. We probably should read that. Stop. We're not going to read that. Get a power cable. Power brick. Obviously it is an American power brick. This has come from America, so that's not going to be used. Thankfully I have actually got some regular USB bricks around here somewhere, and the pen. Let's get this out here. It's actually a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. I expected it to be really chunky. It's got a little screen on it. You've got your up and down buttons. Extruder time apparently, so whether it comes out fast or slow, don't know which way's which. And then extrude and not extrude. It's actually quite comfy. I think it's going to be okay to use. So now that we're there, we'll go back up top and see if we can actually get this working. As you can see, we've gone a bit fancy pants. I do have just here, we have a little video that shows what's going on around my hands. I haven't put this in yet, although I have plugged it in, so let's see what it does. So as soon as you turn it on, it's going to say ABS and a temperature. If you bring that down to about 175 according to the manual, that's when this little button on here, if we can see it, probably not. Let's try getting really close. Nope. Well, it says PLA. I've got my PLA filament ready. I'm guessing you stick it in the hole. I don't know how long this is going to take to get to temperature. I don't know how easy this is going to be to work. I am actually really looking forward to getting this started. Okay, temperature is set to, wow, it heats up quick. 60 degrees, 70 degrees, we're trying to get it to 175. Just going to hold the PLA filament. I'm guessing it's a bit like a glue gun in that it's just going to self-feed, hopefully. 120. It's warm, it's not hot. I mean, I can touch the end, as you can see. I mean, ow, that was a bit hot. The longer you touch it, it is going to burn, but it's always handy to know for kids, if you have any kids, and kids are wanting to play with it. You can actually get 3D printers, 3D printer pens that the kids can use. They use a softer, cooler filament, which is probably better for them. But as they're getting older and getting a bit more experience, then they can always use this. So we're at temperature, and then we press extrude button. It does make a bit of a noise, and then just starts to feed it through. So if you let go of the button, it does actually stop sending out PLA filament. 2 seconds while we just wait for it all to start to go through the pen. This bit does take its time. I might actually speed this bit of video up. And then here we go, we start to get a little wiggle and we have colour. And we have extruded our first little bit. Now, someone said put it on cardboard because it works really well. I haven't actually got a mat yet. That's going to be my next purchase. Once I start getting a bit better, I wanted to check that I was actually any good at it before I decided to start spending loads and loads of money on it. So we're just going to try drawing a basic circle. Ooh. Wow, that filament comes out fast. I might have to bring this filament down a little bit just by bringing that down a bit. But it's not a bad little circle. Quite impressed. Let's try going the other way. Might be a little easier. Okay, so extrude. Oh, this is not a good circle. Okay, so it looks pretty good. I mean, it takes a minute to cool down, but there you have a little circle. Now, one thing I have seen a lot of people talk about is printing in 3D space, where basically what you're trying to do is build up rather than flat on a piece of paper. So we will try and give that a go. I don't know how this is going to look on camera, so start by getting rid of the little wiggly bits and then start extruding, and then whoa, straight up, hold it for a couple of seconds just to let the filament cool down a little bit, and then hopefully once that's cool enough it should stay upright like that. Then we'll try a second line. Too fast. And then attach it to the first one. Let it cool down a little bit. And then let it go. And then we will then try and join them up. Something a bit like that. Now hopefully that should stay while I show you a little 3D sculpture. Now obviously that's very exciting, but I don't think that's all that you can do with it. I mean, it's very, very cool that you can get something like this to actually work, but I think next we're going to go with just your basic square, maybe turn it into a cube. I think that's kind of where most YouTubers and most people that have used a 3D pen seem to go first. So let's try that one next. So a little trick I picked up from people that seem to do this quite often is to do 2 different squares. Ooh. Move it, because trying to do it on your hand side is not easy. So if we do 1 square, then we try and do a square that's going to be a similar size. Then we will try moving it again. And then if we can pick these off. Like that. Still a little bit warm in one corner. We can pick these off, and you need 20 hands to do this, or be very ambidextrous. You should be able to do something called bridging to the other side. You need to make sure that as you're extruding, you stop a little way through, because if you don't, then what I seem to find is that you end up with a big blob like this that just kind of sits at the end. So we're going to do number 3. Oh, too quick. There's another one. Just let it cool for a second. Ooh, otherwise you get this little bend. Okay, it's not perfect, but we shall keep going for a moment. And then just hold it open. And then once it cools down, you should have a rigid box, except where I first started from, they've decided to break, so we're just going to put a little PLA blob in that corner, and just a little PLA blob in this corner. And there we have a not very square box. Okay, so I thought I'd come back up top just to give some first impressions. I haven't made a lot. I've done a little circle, which is not very impressive. I have printed in 3D space, which was quite cool to do. It's not the easiest thing to do in the world, but it works. And then I've made a very handy 3D box. I think this is going to be your framework pretty much for everything that you do and the way that you do it. So yeah, I mean, it comes out really nicely. It's not as difficult as I thought it was going to be, so thank God for that. So another cool little thing about this pen that I've just realised, I had to go down and get some water a second ago, and it's cooled itself down. I had left it on, probably shouldn't have done, but I did, and it's now cooled itself down. So until I next extrude, it doesn't actually get warm. It's taken the temperature right down. I can touch it, I can feel it. It's not a problem. So I've decided that my first main project is going to be like a little lotus flower tea light holder. So in honour of my mum, I've decided that she's always been a hippie at heart. So I'm going to do her some hippie flowers that I can put on a little stand for her, and then she can stick them in her car, something she's always really liked to do. So we're going to go down below like that and take off the little bit that sticks out of the end, and we're going to start with your basic circle. Nice and simple, and then add in some lovely petals. I've decided to do this in black for now because I haven't worked out or even looked at how to de-extrude the filament material for the next one. So we're going to do this one in black for now, but there's your basic flower. Give it a little bit of a stem. Ooh. Then we're going to give it a couple of leaves, just like that, and then we'll start making a base. So I decided most bases are probably just going to start with a little square filament. Like that. And now we're going to add the flower if it comes off the base. Like that. To its little base. So just add in a little bit of filament to either side. Let that cool down. And we should might just need a little bit more in there. Just like that. Just to stick it on. And it's not staying up. Let's just, oh, might be because I haven't actually put any around the back there. So let's just wait for that to do. We'll see. I think it stands up. Nope. I think it might have got a bit hot and have remelted. Yeah, it's remelted it. A little one that I've done. So I'm just going to hold it up while it cools. And then we can get it off the base. We'll take it up top. And we have a pretty little flower that will stand, hopefully, yay, on its stand. So that's in honour of my mum. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching this. It's probably been rather unexciting, but it has been just a get to know the pen video. Tomorrow we're going to do the Lotus tea light holder, which I'm really looking forward to. It's probably going to have a lot of fast track bits because a lot of it's going to be very repetitive, but it's going to look amazing. Thanks guys for watching. I will see you soon.